Alright, hello class. Today we're going to talk about solving two-step equations. So you see on your note guide this picture. The diagram shows the amount of money that each player starts with in a video game. To be fair, each player should have the same amount of money. If each chest contains the same amount of money, how much money must be in each chest? How do you know? Well, you could write an equation to help you solve this, or maybe you could look at it and try to figure it out. Okay, but let's try and write an equation since that's what we're here to do. Let's solve two-step equations. So if you call each chest C for chest, there are 3 of them, and you've got a 5 and a 1, so together we would say that's 6. That is going to be equal to what player 2 has. So player 2 has, let's count them. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and that means that this will make it 20, and that's 30. Okay, so this side is equal to that side. 3 chests plus 6 coins would equal 30 coins. Okay, so in order to solve this, if you wanted to balance it out, you could take away 6 coins from here and take away 6 coins from that side. Let me show you. So clear all this out. Keep your equations balanced. Let's say you took this one and this one away. Took a 5 away and a 5 away. Took a 1 away, took a 1 away. So now whatever is left on this side is equal to whatever is left on that side. And that's the same thing we're doing here. Take away 6, take away 6. So you got 3 chests left, and that means 24 is left. So if you split up these coins evenly so that each chest had the same amount, you would know how much coins go in each chest. And that is what we're doing with this step. Divide by 3, and each chest would equal 8 coins. Alright, and so basically that's what we need to do every time, is try to figure out, isolate this part with a variable, okay, and then we're going to solve and figure out how much each variable is worth. So if we take away 3 coins or whatever this is, on this side you got to take away 3 from that side. So you get 2x, and this will equal 12. And just like we talked about in the last video, this is a one-step equation. This is being multiplied. You want to undo multiplication with division. Or you can imagine that there's 2 x's, and together that would equal 12 coins, or $12, or 12 pluses, or whatever you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 pluses. So each x would have 6 pluses. This x has those 6 pluses. Or you divide it, split it evenly into 2 so that you know that each x has 6 pluses. Okay, here's your answer right here. You can always check it by plugging it back in. So you'd say 2 times whatever we came up with. In this case, we came up with 6. I'm sorry, I should do that down here. So 2 times 6 is the x. And then we add 3. And it should be equal to 15. You ask yourself, is this equal? Well, 2 times 6 is 12, plus 3. We still follow the order of operations, so 15 does equal 15. Okay, that's checked. Please get in the habit of checking your work. What is the solution to this? So if you look at this closely, you'll see here is the part with the variable. We're going to isolate that on this side of the equation. It means get rid of everything else that does not have the variable stuck to it. So we're going to get rid of minusing 3 by adding 3. So if we have 3 on that side, we're going to add 3 on this side. The minusing 3 and the adding 3 make 0. Makes it go away. It zeroes out. Make sure there's a reason for you doing your math here. Not just because I tell you step by step. It has some kind of logic behind it. 5 plus 3 equals 8. Okay, so now you've got t divided by 2 will equal 8. Or some number divided by 2 equals 8. So to work backwards and figure out what that number was that got divided by 2, you could multiply by 2. Undo division with multiplication. The division and the multiplication cancel each other out. It just leaves t right here. And then 2 times 8, which is 16. Alright, the answer is 16. You can always plug it in and check and see if it works. So let's say you check 5 equals You're trying to see if it's going to be equal to 16 divided by 2 minus 3. If you follow your order of operation, you got to divide before you subtract. So this would be 8 minus 3, and yeah, it's going to equal 5. It's going to check. Okay? Please get in the habit of checking your work. It will make you understand a lot more. Alright, next page. You are making a bulletin board to advertise community service opportunities in your town. You plan to use half a sheet of construction paper for each ad. You need 5 sheets of construction paper for a title banner. You have 18 sheets of construction paper. How many ads can you make? So this one can be kind of complicated. And if you have the ability, I would say pause this right now. Try to take a look and see if you can figure it out. All right, otherwise, I'm going to work it out for you. So each ad is a half of a sheet. So I'm going to say X is a sheet. Plus you've got 5 more will equal a total of 18 sheets. Okay. So if you try to isolate this variable, you're going to subtract. You're going to get all the stuff by itself, so you're going to subtract 5 to make this go away. Okay, now that's gone. All that's left on this side of the equation, this is gone. You just have 1/2 x. Over here, you've got 13. So half x equals 13. How much is a whole x? Think about it like that. If half of an x is 13, how much is a whole x? A complete x. Well, you have to times it by 2. If you only got half, then 2 of them makes a whole. Times this side by 2. Sorry about that. Times this side by 2. You get 26. X will equal 26. Okay, ask yourself, does this make sense? You plan to use half a sheet of construction paper for each ad. You need 5 sheets of paper for a title banner, and you have 18 total sheets. So if you have 18 total sheets, 5 of them are used up for the banner, leaving you with 13 total sheets. And each, excuse me, and you can do a half of an ad on each sheet. Okay, so that means you can make 2 times that. 13 is 26. I hope this makes some kind of sense. Please take a pause, a break, and go back and look at it again if you need to. Okay, this down here says suppose you want 1/4 of a sheet of each paper for each ad, and you have 4 full sheets for the title banner. So this is a very similar situation. Once again, I recommend you pause it, see if you can figure out what it is before I start working it out. Okay, this time you've got 1/4 instead of 1/2, so I'm going to say 1/4 x. And this time you only have 4 full sheets for a banner. Okay, I imagine you still have 18. I think that changed it. Still have 18 total sheets of construction paper. And you do your math and you figure out the answer. So isolate the part with the variable. Subtract 4. Sorry. And that would leave 1/4 x. I'm going to have a space here. Equals 14. To undo the 1/4, or it's the same as if you have 1/4 of x equal to 14, how many fourths do you need to get a whole x? You need 4 of those. Okay, and so you would times this by 4. Times this side by 4, that would give you the whole x. Times this side by 4, and that would give you a whole x. So x is going to equal whatever 14 times 4 is. Off the top of my head, I'm not completely sure. Let's say I think it's 40. Looks like it's probably 56. Okay, you might want to double check me on that, but I believe that's correct. Alright, next question. This has got a variable in the top. This is all one thing. It's not separated by plus or minus. I know there's a minus, but it's just on the top. It's not a separate number. So this is all part of that fraction. In this case, if you want to make this so this is not a fraction. We don't like fractions. Nobody does. Let's get rid of them. So fractions are just division. We undo division with its opposite. What's the opposite of division? Hopefully you're thinking it's multiplication. So we start off with x minus 7. I don't know why it does that. We start off with x minus 7. And it equals negative 12. I'm going to undo the division by timesing by 3. Undo dividing by 3 with the times by 3. Got times by 3 on one side, got a times by 3 on the other side. That means that times by 3 and dividing by 3 cancel each other out, and all you have left is x minus 7 on this side. Negative 12 times 3 makes negative 36 on this side. Get the x all by itself on this side of the equation. So eliminate or cancel out 7 negatives. If it's being subtracted, you want to undo that with, I don't know where 8 came from, you want to undo that with positives, 7 positives. Okay? Do it on one side, means you got to do it on the other side. Okay, make sure you understand how to do this part. It's 36 negatives, 7 positives. 7 of those positives cancel out with 7 of these negatives, meaning there's going to be 29 negatives left. These are gone. Your answer is negative 29. Plug it in a calculator, see if you agree. Negative 29 minus 7, get that answer. Divide by 3. I bet you'll get negative 12. Okay. Once again, same idea. 6 equals x minus 2 over 4. This is all one fraction. We're going to eliminate the fraction, make it so it's not fractions anymore. This division, you don't like division, so let's times by 4. Timesing by 4 undoes dividing by 4. Okay, you times this whole thing by that. I just cancel out these. Okay, this is just a crazy way to write division or multiplication. Just put it in parentheses and stick it right next to it. That's multiplication. This 4 cancels out with that 4. X minus 2 will equal this side. 4 times 6 is 24. You want the x to be all by itself. Get rid of 2 negatives or undo the subtracting negatives by, the subtracting 2 by adding 2. X will equal 26. You can always check your answer to see if that's right. Put 26 in here. 26 minus 2 is 24. 24 divided by 4, you know your multiplication facts, it's just the opposite. 24 divided by 4 is going to be 6. So that's right. Write the right side of the equation in part A as the difference of 2 fractions. So there's another way you can write this. And this makes it a little bit more complicated, I think, but we'll see what you think. You could write the right side of the equation, as this is suggesting. You could write the right side of the equation as 2 separate fractions, x over 4 minus 2 over 4. Okay? In which case you have to isolate this part with the x by getting rid of this, adding 2/4. Maybe you remember that 2/4 is the same as 1/2. Okay. Either way, you're still getting rid of the 1/2 first. So I'm going to add 1/2. My pen is acting funny. 6 plus 1/2 is 6.5. You could use decimals if you want. If you want to change it to mixed fractions, you could change it to mixed fractions. But you're left with that. You don't like dividing by 4. You don't want a fraction. We're going to undo division by timesing by 4. So times or multiply by 4. And whatever 4 times 6.5 is your answer. 24 times, I think that might be 26, but I could be wrong. So you check it out. You figure out what it is. Alright, whatever this is, 4 times that. I'm pretty sure it's 26. But once again, double check me, make sure. And I believe that's it. Sorry this video was so long. 13 minutes, 13.5 minutes. I apologize. I hope that you learned something. Watch it over and over if you need to. Thanks for watching.